contest. Starting at point guard, 6'4", number 3, Keontae George. At guard, at 6'4", number 00, Jordan Clarkson. Starting at small forward, 7, wearing number 23, Lauri Markkanen. The other forward position, at 6'9", number 20, John Collins. At 7, number 24, Walker Kessler.
We're wearing our costumes. We hope you are too. Happy Halloween as 2K Sports presents the NBA. Kevin Harlan here, joined by our analyst Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. Plus, reporting from the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. And a look at the starters for San Antonio. Up in the front court, it'll be Vassell and Barnes. Paul out there with De'Aaron Fox. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 spot. And for Utah, in at forward, it's going to be Markkanen and Collins. Clarkson is out there with Keontae George. And it's Kessler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Halloween night. Greg, and this game should be a treat.
Yeah, fun holiday. Makes for a fun atmosphere. Expect this crowd to be engaged.
Now, here's Fox. Pass to Paul. Wembanyama, a screen on George. Down low. And it's sent back by Kessler. Clarkson against Fox. Clarkson kicks to George. Now, here's Clarkson. Guarded closer. Counting.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed. Never in a hurry.
And so Fox will bring it up for the Spurs. To the inside. And Wembanyama throws it down.
And we talk about how Wembanyama makes the wow plays. Wow.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Now, here is George. 11-point game his last outing to the left side wing. Collins. Good D by Barnes.
And the way he was able to reach out towards that release had an impact.
Well, no question. He altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
No problems knocking that one down.
Well, Chris Paul, by nature, wants to pass the ball, but if you leave him open, he understands he's got to make those shots.
And George kicks to Clarkson. Back to George. Nice ball movement by Utah. Here's Markkanen, and he drops it in from the low post.
How about that? Markkanen able to take the contact and play through it. Big-time finish.
Fox passes to Paul. Inside, and it's Wembanyama with the jam.
Great chemistry between two teammates. Love the passing.
Clarkson against Fox. Outside, George. Pass to Clarkson. Back to George. 5 on the clock. Here's Collins. The shot's good on the assist by George. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. De'Aaron Fox, number 1.
There were so many nights when he controlled the game through his defense. Not a surprise to see him ranked at the top.
Clarkson outside. Outside Collins. Pass to Markkanen. Here's Clarkson. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. San Antonio leading. Right side, Fox. Barnes, screen on Clarkson. Here's Fox. Utah with the rebound. Clarkson outside. Pass to George. Kessler, a screen on Paul. The 3 from George. Wembanyama with the rebound. Spurs have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Vassell kicks to Barnes. Fox dishes to Paul. Wembanyama, a screen on George. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
When Chris Paul gets into the teeth of the defense, make no mistake, this guy's in attack mode because he wants to go to the foul line.
The Spurs shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And both free throws good from Paul. And now we're being joined by our 2K insider, Shams Charania, who's calling in with a good story. Shams, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Well, the Spurs with some experienced additions, bringing in Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, their mentorship is likely just as valuable to this young roster as their contributions on the court. And with legendary head coach Greg Popovich, they're creating an environment for growth in San Antonio. They're really building things the right way, guys.
All right, Johns, we appreciate the report. And here is Vassell after Jordan Clarkson hitting the 3.
Now, I'm not shy about bringing it inside. Vassell is comfortable around the hoop.
George against Paul. In the corner, Collins with it. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Wembanyama with it. Now defended by Markkanen. Vassell outside. Wembanyama, a screen on George. Vassell, and it's in there. Vassell's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And just attacking the paint. Vassell knows better than to hold back.
Now let's send it over to the decorated David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Will Hardy.
And I asked him, how do you contend with the size and skill of Victor Wembanyama? He said, every night we see this guy do something no one has ever seen before. It's kind of like dealing with the unknown. A whole new kind of player needs new schemes. So we'll see some inventiveness out there on the defensive side tonight, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. Wembanyama passes to Fox. Barnes sets a screen for Fox. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
And how about the mid-range shooting of Fox? Definitely capable of sinking those shots with consistency.
Outside, George. Over Paul. George, no good. And it's Paul with the ball for the Spurs. It's a three-point game. This is their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, you know, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
The 3 from Barnes. Utah with the rebound.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Fox against Clarkson. Puts the move on. Can't get the layup. Spurs leading by 3. Pass to Paul. Wembenyama, a screen on George. Paul goes in. The kick out to Fox. Vassell outside. Barnes screen on Markkanen. Vassell, the pass to Barnes. And that one, good.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Markkanen. 5 points in the game. Back to George. Outside Collins. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists now in this one.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
And timeout is called by Greg Popovich. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. The Jazz making a switch here. Sexton's checked in. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Mamu Kelishvili is checked in. Jeremy Sohan comes in for Harrison Barnes. Johnson's checked in for Devin Vassell. And Castle is subbed in for Paul.
And one of the quickest players in basketball. Love watching Fox use that momentum to his advantage on the drive.
To the Jazz, their last game, a loss to the Kings.
And guys, there's really a fine line between being aggressive and being out of control. And in that one, they crossed the line.
You have got to be a low mistake team in today's NBA, because once those turnovers start piling up, you're giving your opponent too many extra looks.
And offensively right now, each team getting what it wants.
Yeah, this is already a high-scoring game, but we knew that was a possibility coming into this one.
There's the pick. Fox with it. Guarded now by Sexton, and they pick up 2. Fox has got 6.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And for De'Aaron Fox, his three-point shooting, Greg, has come a long way.
In his rookie season, he only shot 30% on 2 attempts per game. But his volume and efficiency have both gone way up. And it's made him much more dangerous offensively.
Here's Fox. After the made shot from John Collins. Kicks it out to Johnson. A three-pointer off the mark. Jazz have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Sexton against Johnson. Collins wide open. He fires. Connects from three-point range. He's got 10.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Fox against George. Pass to Castle. And there's the drive. Kessler with the rebound.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Here's Castle, defended by Sexton. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Is on Colin Sexton.
And what makes Castle so difficult to guard is that he keeps defenders off balance with this constant change of pace.
GA, there is a lot to like about the game of Stephon Castle.
His size, playmaking, defensive intensity. I guess the question, is there that one thing that he
Hey, what's up, Rocky?
at an elite level? That will be a crucial step if he's to become a star.
Now, this guy is more than capable of making that play. Jordan Clarkson confident around the cup.
Fox passes to Mamu Kelishvili.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
We've got 1:55 left to play in the first. Filipowski, terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Pass to Castle. Had the space there, but it's offline. Utah leading. 1:29 left to play in the first quarter. And it's Collier missing. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Johnson. Here's Mamu Kelishvili. A pass to Fox. 4 on the shot clock. Over Sexton. Fox, no good.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Here's Clarkson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Doris, when you think of the Utah Jazz, where do they fit in a very competitive Western Conference?
Well, think about it, Kev. The Gobert and Mitchell era was successful, but they couldn't get to the ultimate prize. So then you trade those 2 players away, you get a load of picks. This is the direction you've chosen, but now it's going to take some time and some patience.
The Jazz making a switch here. Sensabaugh is checked in. They set the pick. Driving to the basket. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. The Spurs shooting very well. 58%. The offense is flowing right now early for them. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Sohan with the screen. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Here's Sensabaugh. Here's Clarkson. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Clarkson's got 9. Good if it goes. That one, no good. And so it's John Collins making highlights for the Jazz. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We'll return shortly. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Utah.
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
Yeah, and in addition, their ball movement has really unleashed their offense. Boy, they've been fun to watch.
Sexton is out there with Collier. Then there's Filipowski. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. And it's Sensabaugh in at the power forward. That's the group right now for Utah. So it's San Antonio now after Jordan Clarkson hitting the 3. Barnes looking around. Pass to Castle. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Collier. Filipowski grabs the board. Filipowski's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Sensabaugh. The 3 ball. Victor Wembanyama grabs the rebound. Wembanyama's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Cross contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line. And that sends Stephon Castle to the free throw line. It's going to go on Isaiah Collier. Doris, it's great to see the excitement that surrounds women's basketball currently, isn't it?
It's great, Kevin, that these incredible players with a high skill level are being acknowledged, not only for that skill, but the quality of play, the competitive spirit of these women. They have worked as hard, and they should get as much recognition.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Spurs trail by 5. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. You asked Greg Popovich about Victor Wembanyama, and he says Victor's a different player. He's got talent, so you don't want to take that out of him. I tried to do that with Manu Ginobili, and I learned my lesson. Just shut up and let him play. Victor does some amazing things. His game is all-encompassing. Kevin?
That's a great way to put it, D.A. It is all-encompassing. Wembanyama is one of one. Hey, thank you for the report. A shot by Clarkson, no good. Spurs have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. And Jordan Clarkson is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Champagny passes to Barnes. He's looking for Wembanyama and finds him. Rebound, Utah. Filipowski's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Jazz leading by 3. Clarkson outside. Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Collier. And the 3 off target. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. They double team Wembanyama. Fires for 3. Rebound, Utah. Filipowski's got 6 rebounds in the game. Clarkson outside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Devin Vassell.
That's a crafty play by Jordan Clarkson right there, and at his size, you better be creative.
Fox, he's checked in for Castle. You know, Greg, with a combination of Wembanyama and Coach Greg Popovich, the Spurs should be a great defensive team.
Yeah, it's hard with a young roster because all 5 guys have to work in unison, and often someone's going to make a mistake.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. You know, when you talk about this Jazz team, you have to mention head coach Will Hardy.
You certainly do, Kevin, because remember, he came from the Boston Celtics organization. He also had a history in San Antonio. He is known as an excellent tactician. He does an incredible job scouting. Utah always one of the best prepared teams in the league.
Martin's checked in for the Jazz. To the middle, here's Sexton. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Sexton's got his second basket.
And Colin Sexton is a scorer. It doesn't matter if he's on the interior. This guy is determined to capitalize.
Now Vassell. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Greg, you know this. Getting that second contract is a major goal for young players in the NBA, like Devin Vassell.
And Devin did, signing a huge 5-year extension in 23. He ended up having his finest year after inking that deal. Vassell has a very bright future.
The Jazz making a switch here. Hendricks is checked in. Paul checked in for San Antonio. Here's Hendricks. Sinks that one from the post. Hendricks has got the lead up to 5 now for the Jazz. Paul with the ball. He's coming off a 13-point game against Oklahoma City.
And a lot of those points came at the free throw line. Really because of his aggression. He was playing the game with force, always catching his man on his heels.
Here's Collier, defended by Paul. Outside, Sexton. There's the screen. It's good. Sexton's got the lead back up to 5 now for the Jazz.
You love this. The pressure gets physical, and Colin Sexton doesn't blink. Nice job finishing through contact.
Now here's Paul. He's covered closely.
And checking out some numbers for Chris Paul. Last year, getting it done. Was in at about 9 points per, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And what a luxury for them to have someone like him who can absolutely fill it up coming off the bench.
I love it. He knows they're looking for him to bring immediate offense, and he very rarely disappoints. Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Collier. He's coming off a 10-point game against Sacramento.
Yeah, Yeah, don't forget how great he was drawing contact and getting himself to the free throw line. Picked up a ton of easy points there.
Now here's Paul. It's a three-point game. Here's Fox, and it's sent back by Kessler.
This guy is a constant threat on the defensive end. Send it back, Walker.
And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
Here's Fox. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
Now Sexton. Following De'Aaron Fox's three-point attempt, here's Sensabaugh. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Victor Wembanyama.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
The Jazz shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And one of the highlights last year for this group was the fact that they were so efficient from the charity stripe. That's a huge factor.
Now, here's Fox. 8 points for him. Vassell was screen on Sexton. Fox kicks to Paul. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Collier. Oh, too easy for Wembanyama. Here's Sexton. A 24-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. And Will Hardy calls timeout here. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guy. Markkanen, he's checked in for the Jazz. Keontae George comes in for Collier. The Spurs also with the sub. Johnson's checked in. Markkanen in the corner. Sexton finds Markkanen. Sexton with a screen on Johnson. Outside Collins. And once again, off the mark by Utah. And it's Paul with the ball for San Antonio. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Well, when you're facing a team that's feeding off the crowd's energy, you have to bring your A game, and they didn't do that defensively.
One thing you know, Greg, is you've got to pack your defense in the suitcase if you're going to win on the road, and they simply did not bring it.
Outside, Markkanen. Here's Collins, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And when you look at John Collins' advanced numbers, Doris, they jump off the page.
Yeah, probably the advanced numbers you're referencing, Kevin. Offensive rating, true shooting percentage. And when you look at it through that lens, Collins is absolutely able to score from a variety of spots on the floor, and the guy's an absolute terror on the glass.
Jordan Clarkson, he's checked in for Colin Sexton. Now here's Paul. He's got 7. Going inside. Kicks it out to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Utah's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Pass to Kessler. Nice ball movement by Utah. Collins setting the pick for Clarkson. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Offensive rebound. George with no one around. The Jazz with another miss.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
A 3 from Wembanyama. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 5 assists tonight.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
George finds Collins. So, Greg, the Spurs last year began 15 and 56, but it was the ending that they're really hanging their head on. They won 7 of their last 11 games.
And over that closing stretch, Wemby averaged 27 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 blocks. A small glimpse into the potential of this young superstar.
Boy, guys, when he's at his best, John Collins can be an impact player at both ends of the floor. There's a lot of things this young guy does well.
The Spurs have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. Pass to Wembanyama. Johnson against Markkanen. Outside for Wembanyama. No good on the three.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
To the paint, here's Kessler. And Kessler throws it down.
Wow, Kessler punishing the rim on that finish.
Ball looking over the floor. Wembanyama, a screen. Ball goes in. Another shot. Victor Wembanyama.
You know, you have to be aware of Wembanyama on the boards. Really keep a body on it.
Clarkson outside. Back to George. Pass to Markkanen. From outside, off the mark.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's George. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Out to Clarkson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
Wembanyama with the bucket.
I'll tell you, the team is simply riding the hot hand. This guy has been lights out.
Jazz trail by 3. Outside Collins. Pass to Kessler. And that one is off. Good defense by Wembanyama. Great, their offensive approach has been rock solid here.
And they're finding the weak spots in the D and attacking it.
Back to Fox. Barnes, screen on Clarkson. Fox. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Now here is George. He has yet to score. Clarkson with the ball. Now guarded by Fox. Fox against Clarkson. Outside, George. Good on the three-point shot. George has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And developing that 3-ball shot, George is putting in the work now.
34 seconds left in the second quarter. It's Wembanyama, top of the key. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Outside, Markkanen. 16 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Kessler. Collins with it. Guarded by Fox. With the fadeaway. And there's Collins on the assist by George. Collins has got it all tied up now for Utah. Here's Fox. Basket good. Fox has got 12 in the game.
That's a finish for the purists out there. The lightest of touches on the finger roll.
And so it's Victor Wembanyama making things happen for San Antonio. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance right now. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what did you see in the first half?
We have ball movement. You know, we weren't in mud.
Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
When you look at how they're getting their points, a good portion comes from inside. They're going right at the defense. I like.
And moving on, guys, it's early in the season. And that'll do it for half.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. We're seeing a tremendous game from Victor Wembanyama.
Well, it didn't take him long to get that double-double. Already has it halfway through the game.
That takes a level of aggression and a level of focus, and he has brought it all night thus far.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Up in the front court, it'll be Vassell and Barnes. Chris Paul is out there with Fox, and it's Wembanyama in at center. Now, here's Clarkson. And it's Fox with the rebound. San Antonio leading. Paul kicks to Fox. Wembanyama outside. Clarkson passes to Markkanen. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Devin Vassell.
Very difficult to contest and cover a guy that's 7 feet and skilled as Markkanen is. Defense makes every effort, but he just turns it into a foul call.
And what I love about Markkanen, he takes care of the basketball, and that's a result of being patient, playing smart, and just generally getting his points within the flow of the offense.
Now here's Paul with the drive. Second chance shot. Oh, Wembanyama! How in the world you keep him off the glass?
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Outside, Markkanen. Clarkson against Fox. Shot's good by Clarkson. Clarkson's got 16.
This guy can flat out score. Jordan Clarkson having himself a night.
Wembanyama sets a screen for Fox. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. You know, Greg, thinking back to the glory days in Utah, they went to back-to-back finals in 97 and 98.
Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that Stockton-Malone era, they just couldn't overcome the dynastic Bulls. The Jazz still searching for that first NBA title.
Now, here's George. Pass to Collins. Clarkson with the ball. Guarded now by Barnes. And here's Collins from outside. That's a miss, and with it, he is 5 for 9. Outside, Fox. Back to Paul. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Keontae George picks one up.
This guy is so good at getting his man in the air. You know you shouldn't bite on the pump fake by Chris Paul. Yeah, good luck, defender. It's so good.
Castle's checked in for the Spurs. And so Clarkson will bring it up for Utah. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Nuggets at Ball Arena in Denver. That'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip. Outside, George buries it from 3-point range. George has got his second bucket.
The rise and fire, Keontae George in the catch and shoot.
Ball against George. Here's Wembanyama. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Now, here is George. He's got 6. And there's the bucket for Markkanen.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, thank you. The Utah Jazz last season became one of the first teams in the league to move their games to broadcast television. It's a gamble, but they just about tripled their reach. And with the rapid growth in the region, they have a chance to attract new fans. And Kevin, no doubt, other NBA teams are keen to see how this goes.
Oh, David, no question at all. And we thank you for your report. Now, here's Vassell. Jordan Clarkson missing his last shot. Fires from the wing. It's a hand on it. Wembanyama on the follow. Wembanyama's got 6 points in the quarter.
And a monster game for Wemby with the matchup issues he creates. I'm not sure anyone in this league can stop him when he's on.
Clarkson passes to George. Out to Clarkson. Vassell grabs the board.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
And just feeding the open man. Nice recognition there from Vassell.
Here's George following the bucket by the Spurs. Collins passes to George. On the wing, Markkanen. Another miss by Utah.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising it's such a tight game.
Jazz trail by 4. Clarkson outside. Pass to Markkanen. And Stephon Castle is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And Will Hardy is called timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team. A different look now for San Antonio. Mamu Kelishvili is checked in, and Jeremy Sohan subbed in for Harrison Barnes. Here's Clarkson. 16 points for him. Outside for George. The rebound by Champagnie.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
Here's Castle, defended by George. Castle misses. Utah's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them.
Jordan Clarkson has the kind of speed and athleticism to get out in transition and be a problem.
So it's the Spurs now, following the bucket by the Jazz. Here's Champagnie. He's covered by Clarkson, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And now we'll look at the upcoming schedule for the Jazz. On Saturday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Monday, they'll go up against the Bulls in Chicago.
And that game against the Spurs, that's number 9 on the season for them. They should start feeling good about themselves at that point.
Jazz trail by 4. Now, here's Clarkson. 18 points for him. Markkanen dishes to Clarkson. Up top, Markkanen. Covered by Vassell. 5 to shoot. There's a screen by Collins. And that one good from Clarkson. Clarkson's got 20 points.
Well, Jordan Clarkson can be a little bit streaky at times, but right now this guy is on fire.
Here's Castle. 6 points for him. A shot by Champagnie, no good. Clarkson right side. Pass to Markkanen. Jazz passing it around. Back to Kessler. Out to Clarkson. For the lead. San Antonio with the rebound.
Well, he had the defense's attention, dropping 2 threes in the first half, but he hasn't made one since.
Here's Castle. That one goes in. Castle's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
This is where we'll probably see Castle the most, creating opportunities with the ball in his hands.
Markkanen with it, and it's Vassell picking him up. Pass to George. Out to Clarkson. His 3-pointer's off the mark.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
And so George will bring it up for Utah. Now here's Collins. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got assist number 8 now on the night. And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. A different look for Utah. Lepowski, he's checked in for Collins. Colin Sexton comes in for Jordan Clarkson. And it's Collier in for Keontae George. Spurs also with the sub. Johnson's checked in. Here's Castle. 8 points for him. Pass to Champagnie. Drills it from outside. Champagnie's got 5 points now this quarter.
You like to see Castle creating opportunities for his team.
Outside, Sexton. A baseline J. And it's Mamukelashvili with the rebound. Spurs leading by 4. Here's Castle. Pass to Champagnie. Here's Castle. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. The Jazz, number 1.
Yeah, that was a huge factor for them a season ago. Their ability to attack the offensive glass and then convert those into second chance buckets. I mean, no one did it better.
And the Jazz making a change here. Sensabaugh is checked in. Johnson in the corner. Pass to Castle. Drives to the hoop. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Now that's how you finish with authority. Show them how it's done, young fella. Stephon Castle is a problem.
Jazz trail by 6. Here's Collier. Nothing on the board. Here's Sensabaugh. Covered by Johnson. Outside, Markkanen. Over Sohan. The rebound by Johnson.
And they continue to control the glass.
The 7th pick in 2017, Lauri Markkanen. Almost a throw-in that Donovan Mitchell trade.
That's incredible to think of now in the context of this guy becoming an all-star in his own right, Kevin. I mean, Markkanen is a 7-footer who's got efficient offensive numbers, like 50, 40, 90 type numbers. He is an uncommon talent.
Here's Collier after the basket by San Antonio. Here's Castle. He's got 12. Pass to Champagnie. Here's Castle. Sohan with the screen. Fires at the elbow. 1:44 left to play in the third. Here's Castle. And there it is for him. And it's a 10-point Spurs lead.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Pass to Filipowski. Here's Collier. Now here's Markkanen. Will it go? Good on the bucket. Markkanen's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, nice job to capitalize right there in an instance where all you got to do is catch and shoot.
Castle. And the layup's good off the glass. Castle's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And he gets the bucket.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Sohan with the screen from the stripe. Johnson surveying the floor. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
You know, some guys who rely on their strength aren't great shooters. Johnson, though, is in a different category.
Here's Collier. Still scoreless. And the basket is good.
Well, they're trying to establish their attack down in the paint. And make no mistake, these help their overall confidence.
Here's Castle. That will count. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We've got more in store for you right after this. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates. All about putting them in a position to score. That's pretty.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. They've got Filipowski. Colin Sexton is out there with Collier. And it's Mikhailuk in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group right now for Utah.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Here's Collier. Sexton deciding where to go with it. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Great Colin Sexton, still so young. He entered the league when he was just 19.
Yeah, drafted back in 2018. Sexton has a few years left in his 20s, so you expect him to continue to expand his game and improve on both ends.
And Utah making a change here. Springer's checked in. The Spurs also with the sub. Barnes, he's checked in for Johnson. Here's Castle. Pass to Vassell. Wembanyama sets a screen for Vassell. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize.
Boy, this guy just can't buy a bucket, and yet they have the advantage.
Here's Sensabaugh. He takes it in. Banked in off the glass.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Castle, defended by Sexton. Wembanyama, a screen on Sexton. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
I think they put an emphasis on attacking the basket, and watching this, you can see why. They have just carved the defense up here with relative ease.
I think the other thing they've done exceptionally well tonight is shoot the mid-range and take advantage of those opportunities. Anytime they're given a look, they have delivered.
The Jazz making a switch here. Juzang's checked in. 2 points. That one goes. Castle's got 19 points.
You know, put a rough first half behind him. He's absolutely crushing it here in the second.
Here's Collier. Pass to Sensabaugh. And the layup is good.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Wembanyama with it. Vassell right side. Back to Wembanyama. Filipowski grabs the board. Filipowski's got 9 rebounds now tonight. The shot by Sexton, no good.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Wembanyama, a screen on Sexton. They get it again. Barnes. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Is on Colin Sexton.
Well, you won't see a lot of this. Barnes tends not to draw a ton of fouls, but he baits the defender in that instance.
John Collins, he's checked in for the Jazz. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Chris Paul, he's checked in for Castle. Here's Collier. Pass to Filipowski. Outside Collins. Filipowski passes to Collins. Here's Collier. That one, no good. Spurs leading by 9. Stolen by Collins. Here's Collier, covered by Vassell. Now Collins. Down low. Here's Sensabaugh. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Sensabaugh has got 6 in the quarter.
A little playmaking there from Collins. Nice to see him setting others up.
Wembanyama outside. Ball right side. Barnes outside. Wembanyama left side. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Count that bucket. Wembanyama has got 27.
And few defenders to ever play in this league have the ability to slow Wembanyama inside.
Here's Collier. Pass to Sensabaugh. Shoots the 3. Score the bucket. He's made 5 so far. Shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
And it's Fox with the jam.
Yeah, Fox has got great leaping ability, and he likes to get up off the ground there for the flush.
Pass to Filipowski. Inside, and stolen by Vassell. And Wembanyama up top. The rebound by Collier. Jazz trail by 8. Here's Sensabaugh. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Sensabaugh has got 11 points here in just the second half. Now Wembanyama to the left wing. Barnes sets a screen for Paul. Shot, high post. Barnes kicks to Paul. Just 3 to shoot. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Fox, no good. Jazz have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Pass to Collier. Here's Sensabaugh. Covered by Vassell. Here's Sensabaugh. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Fox kicks to Paul. Back to Fox. Pass to Barnes. And here is Paul. And Wembanyama up top. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Jazz trail by 6. Here's Collier.
San Antonio foul. Wembanyama. 4th personal foul. 2nd team foul. At the line for 2.
That free throw missing. And he's good on the second. And so it's San Antonio with it. They've led by as much as 10. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Wembanyama sets a screen for Vassell. Hits it from 3-point range.
And what do you expect from Vassell? He's an accurate shooter from the perimeter.
Here's Collier, defended by Paul. Crosses over. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 6 points and the bucket from Collier.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Here's Fox. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And for a player of his size, Fox not afraid to take some contact to get to the line. He'll do it every chance he gets.
Keontae George, he's checked in for Collier. Fox hits them both.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
Kessler, screen on Paul. George against Paul. Outside, Markkanen. 6 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Wembanyama. Paul passes to Barnes, and the dunk by Barnes.
I like the aggressiveness of Barnes. A much better player when he's attacking.
And so George will bring it up for the Jazz, trailing by 10. Outside, Markkanen. And he drives in to the middle. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
And that is just a deflating error on his part.
Well, I think it kills your energy, and it certainly kills your momentum.
Spurs leading by 10. Paul outside. Wembanyama sets a screen for Paul. A shot by Wembanyama, no good.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
Clarkson on the wing, guarded by Fox. Clarkson gets to Collins. And it's off from three-point range. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Jazz have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. And Jordan Clarkson is going to pick up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Here's Paul. Barnes outside. Ball against George. Barnes screen on George. Here's Paul. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Jazz trail by 10. Markkanen passes to George. Good on the triple.
What a versatile scorer Keontae George is. How about the range?
And here is Fox. And he uses the glass on the layup. Fox has got 22.
You can see why they go to this guy so often. More often than not, he's going to be very efficient like he is right here.
Fox against Clarkson. Buries it down low. He's got 22.
Jordan Clarkson showing he's capable of finishing inside.
Fox against Clarkson. Wembanyama outside. A shot by Paul. Nobody around. Drains it from beyond the arc. Paul's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs. Clarkson surveying the floor. 1:37 left in the fourth. Outside Collins. Markkanen in the corner. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
And how about the response by Markkanen? Made 3 on one end. He comes right back for his own team. Love it.
Ball finds Wembanyama. Wembanyama, a screen on George. Barnes outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Three-pointer, Fox. It's hauled in by George. Jazz trail by 7.
Every second counts now. They can't wait around.
This is the very definition of desperation time. You've got to score every trip.
.59 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Fox passes to Wembanyama. Good, and a nice assist from Fox.
And I like when Wembanyama is aggressive on offense because defenses feel helpless to stop him.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. Clearly, he's got something his players need to hear, and immediately. The shot by Markkanen, nobody around. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down.
Boy, Markkanen looking really confident in the mid-range. We're accustomed to seeing him want the three-point shot, but take what the defense gives you.
George against Paul. Wembanyama sets a screen for Paul. And no good that time. Here's the Jazz with the ball. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Yes!
The willingness to embrace the pressure, marking in big-time delivery.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Watson, fourth personal foul. Fourth team foul.
There's 25 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And an intentional foul right there.
15 foul. At the line for the Spurs.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
And as long as they can keep doing that kind of work at the foul line, this lead will be safe.
And here's Collins from outside.
And this is what dominating the glass looks like. He just cannot be contained.
Wow, what a performance. And he's not just winning with physical ability, he's winning with anticipation.
And so it's San Antonio with the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing